we're going to patch the CT90's muffler. Unfortunately, it's got that telltale rust spot from where all the condensate sits and eventually rusts the muffler up. The rest of it's still really nice and solid though. So we're going to patch it because I don't have a welder. So what we're going to do is I've made some patches here. This is out of galvanized. It's not really the best thing to use for this application. But again, that's what I got, and it will work for now. Eventually I'll source a new muffler, but they're not the easiest things to come by. They're the cheapest. And I'm cheap. So, what we'll do, I've already pre-drilled the holes for the patches. As you can see, we'll go on like that. With the screws. The screws will hold it in until the epoxy sets. I'm going to be using an epoxy, high heat epoxy. Hold it on there even after the epoxy sets. They're not coming back out. This one here, to make it stronger and to keep that ridge beveled, I've beveled in a curve in there. And it's not really hard. I've actually had a fair bit of practice working metal. But it's really not hard to shape metal to fit objects like this. You just really got to take your time with it and practice and keep smacking, keep bending. Some places you will have to make relief cuts like there's a slight one right here by the screw which will allow it to fold, but galvanized tin is pretty flexible, so it wasn't that bad. So it's going to go like that. It's going to get screwed in place and epoxied in place, and then the whole thing will get painted black. So the epoxy we're going to use to patch the muffler is going to be this VersaChem's Spider Patch Muffler Weld. I haven't used it before myself, but it does have some decent reviews online with some videos 6 months and a year out from application. They still seem to be holding well. I'm guessing Spider Patch would mean it's probably got some sort of fiberglass or fiber in the epoxy. It's a one-part epoxy. I guess it's already mixed up, so once you open the container you probably only have so much working time. Looks like it is roughly a 24-hour drying time, so it's probably really similar to the 24-hour JB Weld epoxy I used to fix the shocks, which actually turned out really well. I got close to 300 kilometers on those without any problems. Anyway, so we'll get this together and see how it goes. I'm guessing this stuff's going to be quite messy to work with. And actually, like any project, the first step in the project will be to do all the prep work. So we do have to clean it. I'm going to use a wire brush bit, knock off any loose stuff, and I'm going to use some brake clean to get rid of any possible oil or corrosion and carbon buildup around that might stop the epoxy from adhering as well as it could. And that should do it though. I mean, it's just a simple little exhaust. I'm sure this repair will be more than adequate until it eventually rusts out around the repair and the repair itself falls out. But by then, hopefully we'll have a new muffler sourced. Anyway, get to it. Well, my neighbor actually gave me a can of header paint. I was going to use some just regular high temp paint, but give this a shot, see how it goes. So, got it all cleaned up. I'm going to rough it up a bit with some sandpaper, and we'll go from there. Well, we're also going to do exhaust gasket, which I've already started to pry loose here. Oh, it's important to get a new one in so you can get. So, alright, the old one's out. Clean it up and finish the muffler. I've always wondered what a CT90 would sound like without a muffler, so let's find out. Okay, so we got the epoxy and the plates on. A little bumpier than I like, but that's the back side. No one's going to see it anyway. Stuff dries a lot faster than I thought it was going to. It kind of chunks up as you're trying to put it on. I guess that's the downside of a one-part pre-mixed epoxy. But we'll see how it goes when it dries and then go to paint. I'll just have it hanging up to dry. It's just a little bit windy out today, so I think that'll help it gas off a bit. I think once the paint gets on it, it won't look much different than if I welded a plate in there. I did put some extra epoxy on the new metal. I think that'll help the paint to adhere to the muffler a little bit better than if I left it just with the shiny metal. Either way, I'll give it a try. And she's all cleaned up and sanded and ready for paint. Just gotta wait the 24 hours for the epoxy to cure. New studs and sealing. I think it turned out pretty good. A whole lot better than having a big nasty hole in it. And the header paint from my neighbor actually turned out really nice. I quite like the matte finish on it. We'll see how well she holds up. Time to mount her. Let's repair. On, all back together. All shiny. I think it turned out pretty dang good. I'll ride it. There's a bit of epoxy there. But, you know, it's a whole lot better than having a big hole in it.